Every business has a story, and every leader has a journey.
This is where your stories are told. What is your story? Already, welcome to Boss Talk. My name is Julius. I'm your host, and as usual, I got my son, all right, wingman Dominic. Hey, Dom, what's up?
I'm doing good, man.
Uh,
Another day in the life. I'm ready to be here.
Are you ready for this?
I'm ready for this one.
What you do all day?
I was pretty busy with cabin cleaning, clear, pressure washing, window cleaning today. I did a couple jobs. I got a bigger job tomorrow, so I just got to prepare for that one.
All right, all right, that's cool, man.
Yeah,
None of this will happen without you, so thank you for helping me with all the technical stuff.
yeah.
And for anybody listening out there, he's the one that posts all the video, does all the editing, all the behind the scenes stuff that nobody sees. So thank you, man. Appreciate you.
Yeah, of course, of course.
All right, Aubrey, man. Then today we have a very special guest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've known Oscar for it's probably going on 10 years now or more. Yeah, when did you transition to Minnesota?
17 years ago.
Yo, 17 years ago. Whew. It goes a long way. We go way
Go
back.
way back.
We go way back. We go way back. So we're looking forward to getting to know Oscar. His experience in the banking industry is top notch, and now he's a business owner. So we're gonna walk you all through the journey as we get to know him. So Oscar, welcome to Boss Talk.
Thank you. Appreciate being invited. Thank you guys for having me.
Awesome. Let's get to know Oscar a little bit, Dom.
Let's break the ice.
Yeah, let's break the ice a little bit.
Break the ice, Oscar. or
Yeah, just relax, man. Sit back.
what? All right. All right. All right. What was your dream job when you were a kid?
Ooh, that's a hard one. I always dreamt about being a pilot. I grew up in El Salvador, and my mom came to the U.S. When I was 2.5 years old. And I think the airplane for me just symbolized how I could go from where I was in El Salvador to wherever my mom was. And so as a young child, I didn't know that eventually my dreams would come true after being immigrated to the US. And 10, 8.5 years later, I was here. But my goal was always, I always looked at airplanes. I'm like, I want to be a pilot when I grow up. What? That's right. That's right. So I'm not a pilot, just no, spoiler alert. But there's a lot of things that I took from that as to why I'm at where I'm at today.
All right. Second question we have. Oh, I have. Oh, we have. Whatever you want to say. Um, what do you like about Minnesota compared to Cali?
Ooh. I think it's really about the culture that you get in Minnesota. We left Minnesota intentionally. I'm sorry, California intentionally when my oldest at the time was 4 years old, 4.5 years old, and we had been looking to move out of California just because it just felt like the rat race. It felt like there were parts, as you may know, that are unsafe. And so we just wanted a better lifestyle for our kids. I interviewed at a few places, and this was the second interview. I didn't get the first job, which would have taken me to northern Arizona. And I interviewed with a bank I was at the time a good, I don't know, 20 some years ago. I don't remember how far back, but got offered this job and I said, oh, I love it. And I took the job in the summer and then started in October, and it was a totally different world once winter hit. So, yep.
Definitely agree with that. It's two different worlds, definitely. The last question now: Who has the biggest, or who has had, or who has the biggest influence on your life?
That's pretty hard. That's a hard question. Growing up, I didn't have a whole lot of role models. And so I had to really strive to try to be one for others. And so for me, I looked up to people who were looking to improve their lives, who were going to college. And so I would say in high school, I strived to be one because at the time I didn't feel like I had someone that I could look up to. But if I could say one person, and I've always wanted to achieve more, I have a far distant cousin that he was an aerospace engineer for NASA. He actually worked for JPL in California for a long time, and he was like the first Latino aerospace engineer that JPL had many years ago. And so he was part of the big projects that went to space, and I looked up to him because I felt like if there were there were opportunities for you to grow through education. And so I would say him, but it's very common too. I grew up in inner city LA, and so it's very common for a lot of kids not to have a specific role model other than perhaps their teachers or a counselor. So those are the people I looked up to, and they helped me shape where I'm at today.
That's awesome, Oscar. Yeah. And 17, 18 years later, you are right.
Yeah.
No, that's thanks, Dom, for just asking those high impact questions so we can get to know Oscar a little bit. Right. So, Oscar, so your journey to obviously you have achieved a lot in your career. For people that don't know, a region bank manager or president with 3 different banks, and now you're a business owner.
Yeah.
But you just didn't get there.
Yeah.
So for our listeners,
Yeah.
I want them to kind of hear your story,
Yeah.
how it all started.
Yeah.
So how did your banking journey start right
Yeah.
up to where you were at the top and of course, managed
Yeah.
3 of the biggest banks that you can think about,
Yeah.
right? With so many big responsibilities and
Yeah.
everything. So just kind of walk us through that journey a little bit.
Yeah. So it goes back when I was wrapping up college, and it was really around my pursuit to educate myself and continue to learn and challenge myself to learn so that I can improve myself. So it really started there. At the time, I had a friend that was in banking, and he was moving up the ranks fairly quickly. And so and he's still a really good close friend, and he's still in banking. And so that's how I was introduced to banking. So I started as a teller, part-time teller. And then after part-time teller for 10 months, I became a banker at an in-store branch in Garden Grove, California. And after that, after being a banker, then I became an assistant manager, business specialist, manager, and then just continued to move up there until I became a district manager and then president in several roles.
Yeah. Which role was your favorite and why?
Oh,
Just think about it.
yeah.
Because you've seen it
A
all.
lot of roles. Being an agency owner and having my own agency for insurance, I had forgotten how much I love interacting with the customer face to face. And to me, one of my favorite jobs or roles was when I was a banker. I love being a banker. I love being an assistant manager, business banker, manager, because I had face to face interactions with customers. And I genuinely felt that I was helping them. And being Latino, being bilingual, English and Spanish, I took that as a time to really educate a lot of customers that needed help. So I'm able to do a lot of that today. And the Latino market isn't as significant in Minnesota as it was in California where I lived, but it's growing as well. So that's creating opportunities for me. So in my agency, there was probably maybe 5% of my book of business that was Latino customers, and now I'm probably around 20%. So it's a pretty significant shift. And that's just because there's not a lot of people like me that can help customers or focuses on the education of your Latino customers, but not just Latino customers, but in general, all
All
customers.
customers.
Yeah.
No, that's really cool, man. So it's crazy that your favorite job was a banker.
Yeah.
So that it's crazy because
I loved it.
yeah, you can't the face-to-face interaction, you can't take that for
Yeah.
granted. Sometimes when you transition from one role to
Yeah.
another and you're so disconnect, all you gotta
Yeah.
talk to is leaders like us,
Yeah.
and it's kind of like, hey, you kind of miss that
Yeah.
natural connection.
Yeah,
with
and
others.
don't get me wrong, I love my role as a leader too because I got to develop people. You were either you were a banker or assistant manager when I first came to
Correct.
Minnesota,
Yeah.
and ethnic diversity was important for me. And I'm like, we've got to find a way to promote Julius into management role. And you did, and all the things that you've done. And I'm happy that that's been a really good career for you. But I think just taking the time to help people grow and better themselves, whether you're dealing with a customer one-on-one to genuinely help them, or in the leadership role where you're helping develop other leaders to help customers, to me is what I love to do.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, before we get into your agency, we're gonna learn a lot about that.
Yeah.
But I got one question for you. When you
Yeah.
think about three major banks
Yeah.
that you were at a executive level,
Yeah.
what's the difference from one bank
Yeah.
to another? They're all big banks anyway.
Yeah, they're all big banks. The second bank I went to was a little bit, it was at the time was more of a regional bank.
Okay.
And it's now a much bigger bank. It merged with another big bank, so it's now a much bigger bank now, and it's in the West Coast and back to the East Coast too. But I love the regional bank feel because there weren't a lot of layers.
You feel like you had more control.
You had more control. You felt like you had more impact, and you felt like your voice was heard more. And so I enjoyed that because I'm really big on feeling like if I'm making a difference, I'm going to do it even more. And so when you're in a big bank, you lose that. And so I think for me, recognition is important. Recognition, not rah-rah, but recognition that I'm making a difference in customers, making a difference with team members. And to me, that was a fun and exciting job. I felt like that was one of the best teams I developed. And I was only in that bank for a couple of years because I was commuting from Minnesota to the Chicago area.
Ooh,
And so
that's a drive.
winters were tough. I couldn't fly every weekend, but every weekend I would come home. There were maybe in 2 years, there were probably 2 weekends I did not come home. And so to me, and that's part of it, it's because family is important to me. But yeah, the smaller regional banks was fun and exciting.
Yeah, I work for a big bank, but a small bank experience is unique. And
Yeah.
I kind of like it, man. They don't have a lot of red tapes,
Yeah.
good or bad or indifferent, but their
Yeah.
process just seems a little bit more.
Yeah, and there's always pros and cons.
Pros, yeah.
Whether it's
Yeah.
technology, there's always pros and cons. And to me, you can get good things from all. I've learned a lot of great things. I had worked for a lot of great leaders, and I had a lot of leaders that work for me. So it's all fun. It's just what you make of it.
Oh, that's good. So you have this great banking career.
Yeah.
You have the role that most people dream to have. They're working every day. I want to be like Oscar. Then all of a sudden,
Yeah.
I'm going to stop that and
Yeah.
go start my own business. So
Yeah.
let's talk about that transition and what motivated you
Yeah.
to go from corporate America
Yeah.
now to an entrepreneur.
Yeah. It started back when I was in college. And I have a really good friend. I went to school at UC Santa Barbara. I have a really good friend that owned a coffee shop. And he was maybe 4, 5, 6 years older than me at the time when I was in college. And I learned a lot from him. And his partner was also an entrepreneur. He owned a restaurant. And so we became really good friends. And when I was leaving college, I wanted to go into teaching. And that, to me, that was going to be how I fulfilled myself. But at the same time, as I interacted with business owners, I heard the same thing, and it was around what kind of lifestyle I wanted to have for myself, my family. And I felt that going into the business world had a lot of potential in what my life needed or I wanted to look like as a married man and with children. And so I wanted to have nice things, and I wanted to have the luxury of being able to send my kids to college, and which is something that I struggled to put myself through college. And so I knew that the business world had a lot of potential to be able to do something like that. And so that's why I initially went into banking, because I knew that the potential in banking, if you work really hard, you could continue to get promotions and get bonuses and be recognized, all of those different things. And so I was really setting the foundation for what I wanted to do down the road. And eventually that's where I wanted to go into. And so when right around COVID time hit, I had already been planning for the prior 2 years or so to transition into my own business. And I went into a partnership with a friend who owns 4 other restaurants. And it was more of a fun project, but went in joint business with another partner for to start a restaurant, new concept. And then while doing that, COVID happened. So I learned a ton. And at the same time, that's when I was transitioning into insurance, which I learned a ton. We can talk about that too. And now I'm here because I love what I do, and it's been great.
That's good. So when you transition and you
Yeah.
open your agency,
Yeah.
American Family Insurance
Yeah.
in Otana,
Yeah.
so what was that process like? Walk us through
Yeah.
the process to
Yeah.
become like an agency owner. Because
Yeah.
it's not like you just get up one day and go, hey, I'm going to start a
Yeah.
American Family.
Yes.
Just walk us through that
Yeah.
process a little bit.
So for me, it was really thinking through, again, align with my lifestyle, align with what I wanted to do, like what types of careers I wanted to do or to have. And for me, what it was, I had to think about how I leverage all the information that I had in banking, right? Everything that I taught leaders, everything that I shared with customers, how can I leverage that? And so I had a lot of transferable skills, leadership skills, tactical skills that a lot of business owners don't have. So I was able to take all of that and say, where would I be best suited to leverage my skills? And I thought about the financial advisor role. I thought about the insurance agency role. I thought about the independent insurance role. And during COVID, there were quite a few folks retiring like quickly. And so at that time, American Family came after me, recruited me, and then started my agency from that point on in the dark during COVID. And I had no experience on insurance other than all the skills that I knew about managing people, managing systems, managing strategy. And I had to learn very quickly on my own in the dark. So that was fun.
No, COVID was a tough, a lot happened during that time because a lot of people did go into a small business
Yeah.
during that year because for the first time,
Yeah.
most people's lives just kind of stopped.
Yeah.
Some people had time to and reprioritizing your family
Yes.
and thinking about long term and everything.
Yeah.
Okay, so how did you decide? Otana is obviously special to you,
Yeah.
but why have the agency
Yeah.
at Otana when there are other places?
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
It really had to do with family. And I'm pretty sure that when we had our house on the market and we were going to move to Chicago, and I think my wife booby trapped the house so we wouldn't sell it. So we never sold the house. And after that,
You think she was calling the agents and go,
yeah,
don't bring anybody?
yeah. But after that, I took a job closer to home, running a market in Wisconsin, Western Wisconsin. So it was much closer to where I was at, and I could eventually live at home. But we had made Owatonna home. And when we arrived here, my oldest was 4.5. And so my oldest was 4.5. My second oldest was 2.5. And then My youngest was 6 months, and then my daughter was born a year and a half later here. So for them, this became home. And one of the reasons I wanted to go into being an entrepreneur is because I was done traveling. And so the travel took a lot away from me, and I wanted to prioritize family more than I had in the past. And it wasn't just about chasing the next promotion, it was about having better balance in life.
Yeah, that's having that balance is so important. And the older we get, it's kind of what matters most.
Yes.
Because it always
Yeah.
feels like you want to achieve this, and you get
Yeah.
there. There's always
Yeah.
much more. And how
Yeah.
do you know when it's enough?
That's right. That's
And
right.
I think, yeah, I have slowed down as well to
Yeah.
really prioritize my family,
Yeah.
understanding what's important. Because it's good to create that balance.
Yeah.
So that's good. So yeah, Otan is a great community. And now you've been in business for how long?
I've been in the agency role for 6 years now.
All right, so
And
wow.
6 years, and prior to that, had the restaurant. So 8 years as an entrepreneur,
Okay.
but always
So
entrepreneur
you're
at
not a
heart.
rookie anymore, man.
You're still learning. You're still learning because the winds change direction
Yeah,
quite a
it does.
bit,
It does.
right?
It
And
does.
so you have to learn to adjust your sails, or things don't go always right.
So when you started your agency, what was the biggest challenge that
Yeah.
you faced that first year? Here comes
Yeah.
Oscar.
Yeah.
You left everything behind
Yeah.
in your executive job.
Yeah.
Then now it's you and
Yeah.
you the
Yeah.
it's just
It was hard. So you had COVID, where everything shut down, customers didn't want to come in. I'm really big on building relationships, so it's hard to build relationships through email or phone calls. And then plus, when things weren't going well, you try to do the best you can over the phone or emails. And at the same time, there was an assistant that I had that was part of the agency, and she ended up going somewhere else. So it was like Han Solo here, taking care of
everything.
a big book. And so that was hard. The first 90 days, I remember Christmas time, like month of December, was tough mentally. And I just kept telling myself, imagine, I've learned a lot so far in 3 months. Imagine how far more ahead I'm going to be in 3 more months. And so I kept telling myself that every month I was just getting better and learning more and more. I just had to learn how to navigate the systems, because calling for billing, calling for renewals, calling for anything system related, I had to depend on other people, and other people working from home, or they weren't working. And so there was a lot less support to make it through that time. But so I really had to be tough to get through that. But as I kind of got through that, I think the biggest learning, the biggest lesson is understanding my cash flow. And
Amen.
so it's such an important lesson that I don't think a lot of people learn early enough. And that's why banks don't lend to new business owners.
Too much risk.
A lot of risk. Like, you haven't figured it out.
No, you don't even know. You're only passionate about doing what you know.
That's
But
right.
There's another component of it.
That's right. So for me, it was, you got to set up things the right way, right? So making sure you got your bookkeeper, your attorney, your everything, to make sure that you don't get in trouble with the IRS. And that's my biggest fear, right? You just want to make sure you walk over, you do things right. But the other thing is just learning how much income was coming in, how much is going out, and if it's not coming in, where's it gonna come in from? And so that's the part that a lot of people aren't comfortable with in the world of owning a business.
Yeah, no, the cash flow part is very important. I always think about the cash flow cycle.
Yeah.
The payables are constant.
Yeah.
Okay. Because you're paying your vendors, you're paying
Yeah.
electric bill, your rent.
Yeah.
That is constant.
Yeah.
Then you got your receivables, right? And sometimes those come in. It can be immediate. It could be 2
Yeah.
months. It could be, you don't know when you're going to get it.
Yeah.
Right? Every business is different.
Yeah.
But at the center of that cash flow cycle is the service that you provide. And I think understanding all three components
Yeah.
is so important. If you're a small business owner out there looking at starting a business or getting into a business, just know that, yes, your service is why you are in the business.
Yeah.
But the other component is understanding your payables and your receivables. How
Yeah.
am I going to get paid
Yeah.
for my services?
Yeah.
Because if you don't,
Yeah. You don't.
then the business
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
done
Yeah.
within the years. But anyway, no, that's good. So before we talk, because I kind of want to understand, I know you're very involved in the community in Otana. Can you speak to that and why that's so important to you?
Yes. My passion is to help others. That's just one of the things that's always been natural for me, because from early on, others have helped me. And so I just wanted to do the same thing. And the other thing was, back when I was a banker in LA, they're still role models that I look up to, that I still talk to, that pushed me to be on councils in nonprofit organizations as a way to help me develop my leadership. And that was one way that allowed me to get promotions, because I was known as someone who was not just doing a good job at work, but also contributing to the community, developing skills, leadership skills within the boards that I was on. And so it really helped me accelerate my career in banking. So fast forward many years, I've been on a nonprofit board since, for, how old am I now? I don't know, close to 28, 29 years. Every single year, I've been part of something. And not just on a board. There's sometimes everyone takes a different role, but in a leadership capacity. So whether I was the president of the board or on the executive part of the board, and I've been on several different boards. And naturally, when I became the agency owner in Owatonna, something that I wanted to do was to just double down my time to serve the community that I live in. So today I'm I'm the president, chair of the Chamber of Commerce for Owatonna. And I'm also I'm a board member of the United Way of Steele County, and I love that one. I've been on several other boards in Owatonna, Healthy Seniors, Big Brothers Big Sisters. So anything that has to do with helping others, helping kids, educating, and obviously the chambers about business and helping other business owners. So that's what I'm involved in.
That's good, man. Looks like Otana really means the world to you.
Yeah.
And you've invested a lot of time, and not just, because it takes time to serve on these boards, right? And they need leaders to provide leadership guidance because there's different organizations, they serve different purposes in their community.
Yeah.
And it's good to have leaders lead those groups and everything. Yeah. So your business itself, so year one, so what's one thing that you can say you're super proud of, Oscar, when you think about your being an agency owner?
Making it through year one. And year two and year three, it really...
What was the difference between year one and two?
Year one and year two. Year one, half the year, I was in the deep end of the pool and I didn't know how to swim. And quickly I learned how to swim. And it's not that I didn't have the skills. It's just that there were a lot of uncertainties that I didn't know how to handle. And so by the time we got to year two, it was way easier. I had learned quite a bit, and COVID started being a kind of a phase, right? Where everyone was growing and managing through that. So it was still a lot of learning through it, but my first year was just rough in terms of just understanding how to navigate the whole thing.
New job, man. You're the head janitor, you are the owner, you have everything. This client is calling, you pick up the phone, issues, you name it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's
that's
like
good, man.
kind of do it all.
No, that's good. So fast forward to today.
Yeah.
What does your agency look like?
So right now, and I'm always looking for ways to innovate and make my processes even better. So what it looked like when I started to what it looks like today is a little bit different. I'm more tactical, more strategic about what it looks like because I want to continue to grow. And for you to grow, you got to have a plan for growth. So I've broken down my agency and what I do in terms of my sales process into 5 steps. And this is the Oscar 5 steps that I have written down somewhere, and they're unique to the business. And so whether someone has something similar out there, they may or may not, but I think of the agency model for my business as when you think about an organization, a small business or a large business that does something really well consistently, one of the ones that has always been at the forefront for me is think of McDonald's hamburgers. If you buy a cheeseburger here in this town, it's going to be the same cheeseburger 2 towns from now, right?
They got it down.
They got it down.
Flavor.
Same. And regionally, there's going to be some changes. Obviously, if you get a cheeseburger in Japan, the meat's going to taste a little different because it's their locally sourced meat. So, but the creation will be the same. And so what I have done is take something very similar to say, okay, from step 1 is how you source new business. That's for me, that's my step 1. How I source business. To the second step is how I gather information from the customer. And then step 3 is to meet with the customer to present my recommendations. And 4 is close. And lastly, 5 is automate and process and automate the new customer. And so every step of the way, and I missed one in there, but quote and bundles like step 3. So for me, I break it into these 5 steps so that I can say, if I'm not getting enough revenue or enough this, then where am I missing more focus or more attention?
Within your 5 steps.
Within my 5 steps.
Got it.
And so what's happened, and one of the reasons I have changed my model or it's evolved to this is because now I have hired 2 employees to mainly just quote and bundle new customer households. So that when you visualize that, customer comes in to McDonald's, they order a cheeseburger, they order a Big Mac, they take the order, it goes to the kitchen, the cooks then cook the Big Mac or puts the Big Mac together, package it in the little package, presents it, then someone else gets it, and then here you go, Dominic, enjoy your cheeseburger. So where I have these steps so that I can spend time on the sourcing new business, which is the more highly skilled one, and the presenting and closing the new business. And then I'm helping others develop the skills so they can learn how to quote and package. And so they're learning the skills, they're learning how to do all of that. So eventually they can also become they can get promoted to the front where they're also delivering it. So it's also creating a career path for them by learning how to quote and package, which is probably the hardest thing to do because there's a lot of detail behind it. You know, when it comes to insurance, making sure that the right coverages are covered and presented to the customer.
That makes a lot of sense. But when you have the steps and people are responsible for different things,
yes,
it makes it easier for you to coach and provide guidance.
Yes.
Develop, like you say.
Yeah.
And all that. Then it kind of gives you frees you up a little bit.
Yeah.
So you can really go after the things that you really want to do to drive.
Yeah.
Business.
And just this last couple months, I was trying to figure out where have I been spending my time because I wasn't seeing the results that I wanted. Part of it is training of these other employees. and spending time with them, but then you can quickly diagnose where you're spending your time and where you need to spend your time so that you can adjust quickly. Right?
Makes sense.
So it just helps me diagnose where I need to be.
That makes a lot of sense. All right, Oscar, that was really good, man.
Yeah.
So, hey, we got some rapid fire for you. You ready for this section?
Yeah, let's do
All
it.
right. So, if you would talk to the Owatonna residents,
Yeah.
what do they mean to you?
Oh, their family.
Right.
Their family. I have developed great relationships with a lot of people, with neighbors, with the business community, with business owners. I'm in a networking team as well, and they're like family. I see them every week, and we help each other out. So for me, the community means quite a bit. And quite honestly, I see myself as Owatonna as my main hub, but I have relationships across Minnesota of customers where, you know, it's just beyond Owatonna. There's a lot of people that sometimes need my help too, and I'm happy to provide that.
That's good.
But yeah,
Yeah, that's good. Then, so I'm pretty sure there's some young kids out here or just
Yes.
our audience listening. So
Yeah.
you give them like an advice about either chasing a corporate career or,
Yeah.
or the entrepreneurship journey.
yeah,
What advice would you give them?
do both.
And tell them
Do both.
Why is that?
So I learned a great deal from working for large organizations. They have tremendous resources, great training. They spend a lot of time with the newer employees, developing them, especially the entry-level ones, because you're the future of the organization. And so you have to take advantage of that. At the same time, I think just having an entrepreneurial mindset is also important, because quite honestly, eventually you're going to reach your ceiling. And so you never want to get to that point where you're at the ceiling and you're not sure where to go. And so for me, it's really important that you have both of those two things always in mind, and that you're looking to see how you can be in a good spot for yourself and for your family.
That's a really good advice. And one more question.
Yeah.
This is a softball, so you can't pummel this.
Wait, you can't fumble a softball. How about a football?
No, you can't. Whatever. Okay. This is a football. Don't fumble. It's an easy one. Layup.
It's a layup. All
It's a
right.
layup. I know you talked about owning a business.
Yeah.
You know, when you want to go into ownership,
Yeah.
you need to understand cash flow.
Yeah.
This is very important.
Yeah.
What other advice would you provide young
Yeah.
entrepreneur or even
Yeah.
tenured
Yeah.
entrepreneur, people that are business owners out there?
There's a lot of resources out in most communities that are under leveraged. So you can go meet with the local chamber, and they will direct you to organizations that will help you create a business plan. They will connect you with other similar business owners that have done the things that you are planning to do. And a lot of times, and there are a lot of people who are in those roles, do not mind having coffee to share how they did it, their struggles and their challenges. And so to me, it starts with understanding that you are not alone. You can leverage resources. You can call me. I'm always looking to help people, but you can leverage resources within your community to help you. And now the game changer is AI. So if you're not using AI, you're really fumbling the ball, because it really helps you focus in on the critical few. And it's not that I know everyone's indifferent about AI. I know my kids are in high school or early college, and AI is a no-no in high school, right? and hopefully they adopt it and embrace it, because we're falling behind. Those kids are falling behind by not understanding how to leverage AI. And really, AI is, for me, the way I see it is, you are the architect, right? You are the architect, and you're building that house, but you're leveraging your resources to build that awesome mansion, right? Just like when we got Google, I don't know, 10, 15, 20 years ago, right? It was the same thing. So leverage AI. I think there's so many resources out there that will help you achieve your dreams.
So it's very important to use your resources so that you have a good understanding of what you are getting into.
Yes.
Because you may think your ideas are original, but
Yeah.
there's always somebody out there doing
Yeah.
the same thing.
Yeah.
Yes. So, Oscar, where exactly are you located?
I'm in Owatonna, Minnesota. Address is 319 North Cedar Avenue, downtown Owatonna.
Downtown Owatonna. And what kind of products and services do you offer?
I do everything related to insurance except for Medicare. So I'll do home, auto, umbrella, life, commercial, business, farm, ranch, you name it. I do it all. And I'm licensed in several states, not just Minnesota, so I can help customers even outside of Minnesota too.
All right. If you're looking for insurance, check out Oscar in Owatonna.
Yes.
And he's not just in Owatonna.
Yes.
He's what? Multi-state licensed
Yes.
now?
Yeah.
So that's good. Oscar, thank you for taking the time
Yeah.
to sit down with us. We learn a lot just sitting down with you. I can see Dominic's nodding his head as you're talking.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot of audience going to be listening to this, and they're going to
Yeah.
learn a few things from what you shared. So Oscar's the real boss. This is boss talk. All right. So Dom, take us out.
Gotcha. The best way to before I take us out, I actually do got one question. Actually, when I did my first interview, somebody brought this question to me, and I was thinking about it. So, what is one word that would describe your business, and why?
That is innovative. And it doesn't matter what business you're in, you have to continue to innovate. And if you don't innovate, that's how you fail.
Gotta say no more.
No more. That was
Say no-
good.
We're gonna end on that, yo. I like that. So, do you have any Facebook handles, Instagram, or any type of social media handle?
I don't know what a handle is, but yeah, I have all of those.
So where can people find you on social media?
Yep, you can find me on Facebook. I have a Facebook page for the agency, personally as well.
Say it.
The Oscar Masariego, and also the Masariego agency. And there's also Instagram. I'm still trying to figure that out, but yeah, technology, gotta use it, right? So you can be famous and people can find you, right?
I guarantee you, if you Google American Family Insurance, he's going to pop up.
That's right.
Yeah,
For
so-
sure.
We'll definitely put your Facebook and stuff like that in
Yeah,
there too as
appreciate
well. But the best way to support us and follow us, you can follow us again on TikTok and Instagram at Boss Talk 80. You'll be finding the clips there as far as Instagram, TikTok, and we do a YouTube short as well. If you want to see the full episodes, you could also view it on Facebook at Boss Talk and on YouTube at Boss Talk 80.
Don't say more, son. That's it.
Yeah.
All right. Boss talk. Talk to you
Boss
guys
Talk,
later.
we out.
We out.